When we shed outdated identities, we create space for the emergence of new and enlightened versions of our highest selves. This process involves introspection, self-awareness, and a commitment to continuous learning. Welcome to the Conscious Publicist Podcast, a space where thoughts become ideas to advocate for a more conscious human experience in the media. Our thoughts and ideas inspire action, and the most notable leaders and organizations have transformed thoughts and ideas into global initiatives that have impacted the lives of millions. My name is Ashley Graham, and as a woman-owned business founder and publicist, I guide leaders, visionaries, and creators in discovering their conscious media voice and methodologies that inspire connection, community, and impact through aligned media channels. In this podcast, we'll dive into public relations, thought leadership, business, and entrepreneurship, all through the lens of being a conscious human being. I'll take you behind the scenes into the habits, thoughts, and modalities that have helped leaders shift past paradigms of limiting beliefs, comparison, and self-doubt to show up for themselves to become the subject matter experts they were called to be. Subscribe to the show on Apple or Spotify and join us on this journey of awakening the conscious, enlightened leader within you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our very last episode of the Self-Mastery series. I had envisioned that we would have wrapped up the Self-Mastery series quite some time ago, but one of the realizations that I've experienced personally as a creator, especially in podcasting, is creating when I feel solely activated through the topic in which we're discussing. I truly believe that I am designed in a way to create when I feel fully connected to what I'm creating. And as a newer podcaster, I'm really kind of feeling into the reality of creating when I feel called to create. And that is essentially what I did through this self-mastery series. The reason why I also feel like I didn't want to rush or hurry through the self-mastery series is because self-mastery is ever evolving. There really is no beginning or end. It all lives and breathes in the middle and in the during and in the creation and implementation of self-mastery practices. However, I do have an incredible topic that I want to discuss for the close of the self-mastery series, which is the power and realization around identity and how that connects to self-mastery. As an introduction to this topic of identity, in the intricate interwoven or DNA of our human existence, the realization of identity serves as a foundational thread that weaves together different narratives of our lives. It weaves together the narrative of our past selves, our present selves, but then also this vision of our future selves and who we ultimately perceive our true selves to be. Our initial identity is imprinted on us as soon as we enter in this world, and we begin to construct a sense of self, drawing on our external experiences, relationships, our cultural influences, as well as the environments in which we're conditioned in. However, one of the biggest realizations or takeaways from just the work of shifting identities is your identity is not static. Our identity is a living, breathing energy that evolves with our personal growth and moments of true, deep self-discovery. It's through this pursuit of self-mastery that our journey involves shedding outdated identities to embrace the ever-unfolding versions of our higher selves, which ties into my world of thought leadership in ways that most don't ever really see it as such. To continue diving into the nature of identity, identity at its core is a complex interplay of various factors such as culture, family, education, and personal experiences, amongst others, I'm sure. These elements converge to shape our beliefs, our values, and our perceptions that form the foundation upon which we navigate the world. Yet, as we delve deeper into the practices of self mastery and the evolutions of self mastery, it becomes evident that clinging rigidly to past identities can truly hinder our progress of moving forward. The key in this discovery lies in recognizing that we are not static beings. Rather, we are in a perpetual state of becoming and a constant evolution of a raise in consciousness, which I'm sure we'll dive into at some point in this podcast. As I ultimately believe in action and evolution, the first step to embarking on a path of self-mastery outside of what we've already covered in the self-mastery blueprint is to embrace the idea that we are not bound by the limitations of our past selves. The evolution of identity necessitates a willingness to shed old layers, discard what no longer serves us, and open ourselves to the prospect of true everlasting transformation. This is an acknowledgement that growth and expansion are not only desirable, but key to our journey towards self-actualization. Although it is not a simple task, when we shed outdated identities, we create space for the emergence of new and enlightened versions of our highest selves. This process involves introspection, self-awareness, and a commitment to continuous learning. You'll notice those keywords in our self-mastery blueprint. The paradox of welcoming new versions of our higher self is the higher self is not actually a fixed destination or a fixed person, but more so a dynamic and evolving state of being. It is a being that embodies the wisdom gained through our experiences and the intentional pursuit of personal development through moments of stagnancy, moments of disconnect, moments through divine clarity, and any other part of the process that shows us when we are nudging and getting closer to this version of ourselves that is ultimately who we're meant to be. This is a great segue into the next part of this process, which is the full-on shedding or deconstructing process of what doesn't serve us. And I want to acknowledge that this part is actually very uncomfortable and it's very difficult to shed old identities of who we've known ourselves to be, to welcome in this new version that seems so unknown. I know from personal experience that the process of shedding old identities requires a conscious effort to continually identify and release elements of our being that no longer align with our authentic selves. This can include our limiting beliefs, our destructive habits, and outdated narratives, both internal and external, that hinder our progress. But I have realized the transformation of what comes when you let go of what no longer serves you and how it makes room for personal and spiritual growth that unlocks the full potential of our higher selves and the opportunities that are just waiting to present themselves to us. The common narrative so far when it comes to identity and self-mastery is the DNA shifting of the internal reality that we evolve through this process. But one of the most impactful areas of this work is the impact on the collective growth of those around us. Self-mastery is not just an internal experience, but it also lives in the external in how we impact the lives of those around us. I want to highlight that the transformative journey towards self-mastery far extends beyond our individual growth, our boundaries, and our self-realization or self-actualization. It has a ripple effect on the collective consciousness of those around us. When we shed limiting identities, our past selves, our past imperfections, our mistakes, and welcome in this new slate of growth and expansion, there's a positive influence that radiates to those around us and shows them that there also is a path of collective growth that is available to them. I hope you're enjoying today's episode, but in the meantime, I wanted to take a moment to talk about an exciting partnership opportunity that we launched this year with The Conscious Publicist. To give you some backstory, we believe in a world where ideas flow at the speed of light, and within those ideas, thought leadership emerges as the beacon guiding us through the ever-evolving landscape of knowledge and innovation. The people who stand at the forefront of these transformative ideas have harnessed the power of their identities, the topic of today's conversation, making their voices resonate with authenticity, influence, and wisdom. As the true north of thought leadership, identity is not a static concept, but a fluid and evolving force that shapes our beliefs, values, and perspectives. As thought leaders, our identity guides us through the intricate maze of ideas, trends, and innovation. It is the lens through which we view the world and the anchor that keeps us grounded in our authenticity. To us, thought leadership is not just about being a subject matter expert. It's about articulating your unique viewpoint and harnessing your idea to create a lasting impact. Your identity forms the foundation upon which your thought leadership journey is built. The stories you tell, the experiences you've gathered, and how you connect with your audience make you a thought leader. In essence, your identity shapes your thought leadership, and your thought leadership, in turn, refines your identity. Unlocking the power of identity in thought leadership is a transformative journey, and ideation can be your guiding light. We've designed our Ideation Intensive experience to help you tap into your ideation potential by aligning your evolving identity with your vision as a thought leader. The 3 pillars of ideation that we cover in this intensive experience is first, visualizing your thought leadership evolution. Second, crafting your core messaging. And third, redefining your signature expertise. If you're ready to embark on a transformative journey that shapes your business and reshapes your identity print through thought leadership, it's time to unlock the power of your identity shifts through this ideation process. Our ideation experience is here to help you celebrate the milestones you've achieved and the profound changes that define who you are. It's a call to action, an opportunity to embrace change and cherish your evolving identity in thought leadership. By participating in our ideation experience, you'll take the first step towards harnessing your identity as a thought leader and driving meaningful change in your space. You can learn more about our program and embark on your journey to thought leadership by visiting theconsciouspublicist.com. Here's to embracing change, cherishing our identities, and propelling our collective evolution forward. Together, through this ideation process, we can unlock your ideation potential and shape a brighter, more thought-provoking future. I want to start bringing the content and the message full circle into the focus of thought leadership. Now, thought leadership is the space that I thrive in. And one of the most significant parts about the thought leadership journey really is this self-mastery process. You'll know at the beginning of the launch of the podcast, I hit on 3 main messaging categories, which is self-mastery, voice activation, and the conscious voice. If I can just take a moment to highlight exactly where those main categories came from is, as a deep reflective and introspective person, I have taken 10, 15 plus years of my life and really understood my own evolutions as a woman in business, as a creator, as a writer, as a human being, and put that into a methodology of how I went from my past self, this person who still had so much ahead of her, so much potential, and went through the process of shedding the versions of myself that were maybe no longer in alignment with myself, shed old ways of thinking, old narratives, old stories that I used to tell myself, and basically rewrote my own path ahead through just manifestations that I wanted to experience, better and healthier, more expansive ways of thinking, and just really understanding exactly what I wanted to obtain in the chapters of my life to come. And when I started to put that into a methodology, it became so crystal clear that there's this interwoven balance between the self mastery process, voice activation, which is the journey of using your voice to talk about those stories, to talk about those messages and those epiphanies that you have through that self mastery process. But then also the conscious voice, which is how that voice, how those stories and how those messages really truly impact and influence those around us. Knowing that we are now at the end of our self mastery series, again, it only scratched the surface of this process, but I cannot wait to dive into the rest of the messages and the content that I have planned for the next series to come, which is all around voice activation. I am hoping to bring the content a little quicker so that way I can just share the wealth of goodies and knowledge and wisdom that's to come in these series. But again, I do like to honor my methods of creating, and I also play a lot of different roles. So I also honor that as well. I just want to always extend my gratitude to have you here with me through the journey of this platform. I have very big goals, very big aspirations on how I want to connect with all of you. And I can't wait to connect with you in the next episodes to come. As always, if there's anything that you would like to highlight with me or get even more insights, I'm always available. Feel free to reach out anytime. Otherwise, I will see you in the next series.